Hello, people of Tube, and welcome back to another review. So, I've gotten different requests to review indie horror flicks, and I've only done one of them, and that was Camp Death 3D. It's up on Amazon Prime. You can go watch it anytime you want right now. But this time, I'm reviewing the film The Night. Now, let me tell you something. You've never heard of this film. I would almost bet money on the fact that you have never heard of this film. Um, it's a very, very indie flick, and it's basically about a guy who kidnaps a girl, ties her to a chair, and then tortures her in front of a webcam, and like people pay him to torture her online through like a Twitch type of thing or a streaming thing. It's very, very easy to understand story. So yeah. What did I like? Well, let me talk. Okay, first of all, let me talk about the things that weren't that great. The camera. The camera wasn't terrific. The acting wasn't good. Um, the lighting was bad. Story wasn't great. Yeah, no, this movie isn't good, and it feels like it goes on forever because it doesn't have interesting characters or an interesting story or interesting death or anything. Um, I would almost compare it to something like Guinea Pig, Flowers of Flesh and Blood, because that movie bored the shit out of me too, because I'm not a huge fan of just watching people get tortured. I usually like a story to go with my torturing. Or maybe even August Underground Mortem. It's actually recorded in that style, that very sort of shot on video style. Like, like we're gonna record like a YouTube video, type of style. Yeah. So as a movie, it's not good, but I do want to say this. I support indie directors in pretty much anything they want to do, even if it's bad, and I'll tell you why. I have a theory that if you put down an indie director, even if his first movie is awful, if you end up just sitting there shitting on him, then maybe he won't make the next one, which is a really good film. And I would like to compare him to someone like Sam Raimi. Sam Raimi, if he would have made films before Evil Dead, which he has, and, they're shit. So what if people constantly told him he was shit, but he never ended up making Evil Dead? Then we wouldn't have an absolute horror masterpiece and a classic. That's why I support indie directors, and that's why I don't want to tell this guy that he's terrible. Dude, you're not terrible. You worked with what you had. The camera, trust me, I understand. I've been doing YouTube since 2011. I don't have a good camera. I don't do lighting. I rarely ever do special effects or goddamn like video editing. Trust me, I know it's fucking tough. But also, I don't know if you're a huge fan of horror, but usually movies that aren't strong in like lighting or atmosphere or anything else usually compensates by having good actors or good story or good lines. There has to be something that helps to equal it out, because if you don't have good characters and you don't have good lighting and you don't have good directing and you don't have any of this, then you just have a bad movie. But if you're able to actually have really good characters that I like and enjoy, then I'm willing to put aside uh, my fucking, me watching and going, man, this movie looks like it was directed horribly. I'm able to put that aside because I'm like, well, okay, the movie doesn't look good. It sounds bad, but the characters, they're really good. I really had a fun time watching them, and I'm able to forgive it. Now, I'm going to tell you now, I'm going to forgive this film. I'm going to tell you guys that you should check it out because I do believe in supporting indie directors. I always have. One to me, one of the greatest indie films of all time is Black Devil Doll. I fucking love this movie. This movie is absolutely hilarious. It has easily one of the best commentaries from Black Devil Doll himself. That shit is fucking hilarious. And I supported this movie fully. I mean, I bought it on fucking DVD. The website that produces these, Rotten Cotton, I've bought 4 or 5 shirts off of there. Their stickers. I supported this company and this movie 100% because I loved what I seen. And the director of the night, I would 100% fully support you. I'd buy the movie on DVD or Blu-ray if I really, really liked it. Unfortunately, I didn't really, really like your film, but what I'm going to do is I'll make you a deal. If you do see this review, if you do make a second film, and you take my advice, and you get maybe like a better camera, better audio, better equipment, I will watch it all the way through, and I will review it, because I, for one, do believe that we need to support indie directors. We need more of that in the horror community, because usually it's the indie directors that push the limits, make the good horror films that we see. I mean, like I said, indie. These are all both indie films. Cannibal Holocaust, Black Devil Doll. All these directors start as indie directors, whether it be Wes Craven, Sean Cunningham. All of them start as indie directors. And the way I see it is we need to support them, because if they're going to turn into classics, like this dude who directed this movie could be the next John Carpenter. Good John Carpenter, not like the War John Carpenter, but good John Carpenter, like Halloween 1 John Carpenter. So, he could be the next John Carpenter. He could be the next Wes Craven. So, if you can find this movie, check it out. It's not good, but we need to support indie directors. And dude, director of this movie, if you see this, I want you to know I will back you 100% on your next movie. I will watch it, I will review it, I will do whatever a YouTuber can do, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm willing to support you if you're willing to upgrade to make a better movie next time, you know what I'm saying? One of my main problems with your movie, like I said, is character. I would be more willing to forget the directing and the bad camera quality and the bad audio quality and the bad story if I loved the characters. If the female character had a personality. If she acted more like someone who was truly kidnapped and didn't feel fake. If the director of the film maybe was a little more human-like, maybe discussed things, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to make him like, fucking Patrick Bateman. Like, don't get me, Patrick Bateman's a great fucking fucking horror character, along with like fucking the dude from Psycho. He's great. First of all, he is one of the best characters in the horror genre, man. The main character from Psycho, he's fucking fantastic. And I feel for him. His personality, everything about him I like, and that's what I'm saying. I am able to forget and forgive if your characters are good. So, your next movie, like I said, trust me, it doesn't have to be perfect. I fucking support and love indie movies. But I want you to upgrade and try and make some more, better dialogue. Like, the dialogue has to be better, okay? I have to enjoy watching these characters on screen, because if I don't enjoy watching them, then I'm not going to enjoy the movie. Because there's been times when I've seen movies where the story is, shit, characters are good, and I'm able to forgive it. But then I've seen movies where story's good, and the characters are bad, and hell, I'm even still able to forgive it, because there's at least some good part of it. So I'm just saying, I support you fully. I can't say this is a good movie. It's not a good movie. I'm not a fan of it. But if you're going to make a second film, then I'm all on the train. Hit me with an email. I will definitely watch and check it out. Just, do what I said, and you'll be good, man. So I have to give it a thumbs down. It's not a good, enjoyable movie. But I want people to check it out just because it's an indie director, and we need to support our indie directors.